What's up? I'm glad you're here today to talk with me about HOAs. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons of HOAs. This conversation stemmed from a recent conversation that I had with a client about HOAs, and he was interested in looking at some, but then he was a little bit reluctant because he had heard some things, some not so good things. So as a real estate agent, it's kind of my job to let him know what the pros and what the cons are. So I thought it'd be a great video idea to kind of let you guys know exactly what the pros and the cons are as well. So let's get right into it, man. Like, before anything, I'll let you guys know, I lived in the HOA community before I moved into a single family residence. And so I know from personal experience what the pros are, what the cons are. So I'm actually a good candidate to be speaking on this topic. I'm great because I know what's going on. The first con, we can talk about the cons first, and then we'll go over into the pros. The first con is monthly dues. You have monthly dues outside of your mortgage, outside of your other expenses, electricity, your utilities, your trash, your water. You're gonna have some HOA dues, right? Now, how much these HOA dues are depends on where the property is located. Typically, if it's in a nicer area, your HOA dues are higher, right? You kind of gotta pay to play, in the nicer area. So there's usually a premium when it comes to HOA fees in a nice community. But the second thing was the restrictions. There are a lot of things that you cannot do, right? Because the HOA, specifically speaking about condo communities and townhomes, they own the building, right? You don't technically own the land when it comes to those types of HOA communities. Now, we can talk about the single family residences inside of a HOA community. It's a little bit different, but if you purchase a condo or a townhome and you have a common wall, right? Then you own the rights to the air inside of the building, but you don't actually own the land. You can't go outside and you can't build, right? You can't make any real modifications to the property because it doesn't technically belong to you. Now, technically none of this belongs to any of us, right? If Uncle Sam wants to come and take it or build a freeway through here, he can come and do it. But I'm just saying, you have less power, you have less control when it comes to home ownership, a condo, townhome to a single family residence. So you have your restrictions. You can't paint the outside, right? They govern what you can do. You can't change your door. Most times it has to be uniform. And you'll see that in the CCNRs, which stands for covenants, conditions, and restrictions. And you read through these while you're in escrow purchasing a condo, because they let you know up front, hey, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. If you got 3 cars, but we only allow for 2 parking spots, then maybe this isn't the community for you, right? So at least you know up front with the CCNRs whether or not the community is good, but they do have those restrictions in place. All right, so those are 2. Let's go over. And I'm speaking from personal experience too. Oh yeah, potential assessments. So your potential assessments, this is why I encourage anyone, if you are considering going and purchasing a property that's in an HOA, you should definitely be involved, right? You want to be involved. The reason why you want to be involved is because people can make decisions that affect your life, and you're just impacted, right? If you're not on the board, or if you're not going to the meetings, or if you're not involved, the HOA community can say, hey, we want a new roof, we want new sewer, we want to paint the property green or whatever. If you're not there to throw your hat in the ring and tell them, hey, I don't really agree with that, then they're just gonna do it. And then the assessment comes when they make these major repairs. They say, okay, hey, it costs $15,000 for a new roof. Now our assessment goes up. Now there's a special assessment that's coming that you have to come out of pocket for. So you want to be involved if you're going to live in the HOA community. Heavily involved. That's the other con is that if you're not involved, then there's potentially tons of decisions that could directly impact your finances that you don't have any power over. So HOA community, definitely go to the meetings. Definitely, if you can become the president or treasurer or be on the board or whatever, strongly encourage that. Yeah, because they'll do stuff like road repairs, roof replacements, and then all of a sudden you got a $5,000 special assessment out of nowhere. You know, is that a good day or a bad day? I don't know. You got a new roof, got new roads. I don't know. This is the con that put kind of a bad taste in my mouth about HOAs, is that the enforcement, right? The enforcement, the fines. Now, our HOA in our condo was $300. This was $289, right? Which I didn't have a problem with I didn't have a problem with the HOA fee itself, but it was one day. This is what ruined it, right? It was one day I had parked my car in front of our building. Right? I parked the car in front of the building, and when I come outside, like 2 hours later, come in there and get a nap, there's a tow truck outside. There's a tow truck outside getting ready to tow my car. Now I'm paying all this money for this HOA, and I park my car in this parking spot across the street. And I mean, I guess I didn't register I get it, right? But it just kind of made me feel like, dang, dude, like these guys are getting ready to tow my car, and I don't know how much it's been, $500 on top of whatever. So that made me, you know, put a bad taste in my mouth. Cause like, dang, I don't have any rights here. I don't have any power here. I don't have any control here. So those are the cons, right? The cons are, let's go over them again, right? You have HOA fee, right? You have assessments, right, that pop up for maintenance. You have restrictions, right? You have enforcement. You're being governed, right? And then your ownership, right? You have limited ownership. The building isn't technically yours. You own the space inside of the building. You don't actually own the building, so there's no modifications, there's no digging, there's no adding ADUs, no parking. Like, you're limited in what you can do with a condo, right? Those are the cons. I'll say that's the cons. Those are the biggest cons. There are a lot of pros too, and we have to speak about them, because if an HOA community is right for you, you should also know the pros as well. The number one pro for me, and this is like the reason why we wanted to live in the HOA community or condo in the first place, is amenities, right? So I'm paying $200, $275, $285 a month, but I have a pool. I have like the community pool, jacuzzi, basketball court, outside barbecue, tennis court, dog parks. Like, all of this stuff, like, it's right there. And because, you know, we have X amount of people paying into the same pot, it's well maintained. It looks good. You got an Olympic sized pool. You got people hanging out, you know, so there's the amenities, like the fee that you pay, it definitely is worth like the amenities that you get sometimes. A lot of times too, like, you'll have a privacy too, because when you live in these HOA communities, it's gated, it's secure, so there's an extra added layer of privacy there. That was something that I really liked about HOAs, right? Was the amenities. The amenities that I really enjoyed about the HOA. Oh, the maintenance. Now, I talked about the lower side of it, right? But if you're a person that's not really handy, like, you don't like to cut the grass, you don't like to paint, you don't want to trim the trees, HOA communities are perfect, because you don't have to do any of those things, right? They do it all for you. They're painting the outside of the house. They're making sure the roof and stuff is good. They're making sure the grounds are clean, right? So that's the benefit. And a lot of times, all of that is kind of bundled into your HOA fee as well. So yeah, the maintenance was a big deal, right? Maintenance, I don't have to come home, cut the grass. If anything breaks on the outside, because they insure the outside of the building. So that was another pro, a pro to it. And then the community too, like, you get a good opportunity to mix and mingle with like your neighbors, find out who the people who live around you are. Like, it's not really like that with a single family residence. It's a little bit different. Like, when you share a wall with somebody, you almost share a house with them. Sometimes, depending on how, you know, you end up meeting the people, you know, you end up hanging out sometimes and creating friendships, new friendships, new relationships and stuff. So that's one of the other pros that I liked about living in the HOA community. But here's the thing too. This is what I really like about HOAs, right? When you live in a community that has single family homes in it, that's also in the HOA, I love the fact that if there are distressed, tore down properties inside of the HOA, they'll find them. They'll find them. There's nothing worse than being in a beautiful community, and we all have it, right? We all have it, right? Like, where every house in your community is nice, but you just have that one house on a corner as soon as you come into the community that makes the whole neighborhood look like junk. So there's none of that. Like if there's a house that has overgrown grass, they're getting a fine. If there's a house where the paint and stuff is chipping on the outside of the house, it doesn't look good, they might get a fine. So they make sure that everything is uniform and cool. Do some people abuse their power? Yes. My mother was the president of the HOA. I know that some people like to abuse the power when they get in those positions. So, but the good thing is if you have like those overzealous HOA leaders, you know, they make sure the community is good. They make sure that the HOA is gathering the treasury, is being allocated towards the correct things. They make sure that things are in order. Are they a little strict? Are they a little annoying? Do they kind of overstep sometimes? Yes, but there's two sides to that coin. So that's how I feel about HOAs. I would love to know how you guys feel about HOA properties. Is an HOA property right for you? I don't know. Is it? I mean, based off of what we just talked about, is the HOA community the perfect place for you to raise your family? Is it something where you would think about purchasing? Is it? I mean, it's a good question. I would love to hear what you guys feel about, how you guys feel about HOA communities and the pros and the cons that we just went over. I'm really glad you guys were able to join me today. Let me know how you feel about HOAs versus, the cons and the pros of HOAs and the cons of HOAs. Like, subscribe, comment, talk to me. If you guys want to see any properties, if you'd like to go see a town home or a condo in the HOA community, I would love to go and show it to you. If you need resources, then also let me know. We have those. Until next time, see you.